Hello and welcome back to We Are the Famous EFC. My name is Adam. It is the match preview ahead of Everton's game against Crystal Palace at Goodison Park. Everton are coming off a 1-1 draw, but also I've had good news this week that the Dan Freakin group is set to take over Everton, and also that's positive news by Everton too, that we're finally going to know where the club lies as a football club. But back to the match preview. Sean Dyche has held his pre-match press conference ahead of Everton's game against Palace today, and we'll see what the manager has to say in his press conference before I give you my starting lineup and my predictions too. But this is a much needed win by Everton and by Sean Dyche. This win will be valuable to his job, to Sean Dyche's job, and to us Everton fans, till we know where we lie as a football club. This is a must win, and I cannot stress so much about how much this will mean to us fans and to the football club itself. So here's manager Sean Dyche.
This week. So what's your reaction to what you've been told about timescales, etc.?
Well, the reaction is obviously one that there's a long way to go, I think, or from what I gather of the previous situations, there's a long way to go to get everything to a final point. But the early signs look favourable in the situation, so we'll have to wait and see. But it certainly looks like a stronger situation than past.
What do you hope a takeover brings to this football club?
Well, I think openly speaking, that more of the stability of it, because it's been on an unsettled ground for such a long time now, with varying situations, various opinions about what was and what is and what should be and all the rest of it. So I'd imagine it would probably clear up that kind of changing the noise, as I call it, changing the noise that surrounds Everton Football Club, certainly in its initial spell. Should it get over the line, then I would imagine bringing that stability and the feel of stability after an up and down period for many different reasons.
Have you spoken to the prospective new owners yet? Do you know when you're likely to?
No, I don't know when I'm likely to. I haven't spoken to them. I don't know when I'm likely to. So I'll await on news on that. I mean, it's not a given that they speak to me, but you would imagine they probably will at some point.
When would you like to have policy over your own future?
It's not really relevant. I've tried to speak openly about it. I got brought here as a custodian. I got brought here to do a specific job, I feel, especially looking backwards from where it was to where it is now. And I continue to work hard at that. And that's really my focus. The rest of it will sort itself out. Obviously we've got to change results. That's a given. But the actual workload and what I've done there has been considerable, I think. And I just keep doing that. And then, however it opens up in the future, we'll see.
It's not about yourself, though. You think in January you might get the opportunity to add to the squad as well? Or?
Well, all these things are to be decided upon should the new ownership come in. There's varying reasons there, because don't forget, they'll have a view of what the club is. They'll have a view of what their thinking is moving forwards. So until I know more about that, then, my situation doesn't change. I'll just keep working hard as I've been doing with my staff and the players to change the current situation, the bigger situation. There has been a lot of change, a lot of good change, I think. But the current situation, of course, needs change. We've got to win back, get back to winning games.
You get back to football then as well. Squad-wise, how are we looking this week? Branthwaite ready to return?
Excuse me.
Certainly,
Jared's in front of the curve compared to Pato. Pato's had a much longer period out and quite a serious injury. He's doing very well at the moment, but that's a longer recovery period. Gano unfortunately lost his father, so he was away, but he was in Senegal, so he's at quite a period. He had 7 days without training, so only just back in. Miko's well again, so that's good. So there's certainly more a picture of what it is. Seamus is a bit longer, Brogues a bit longer. Who am I missing? There's one more. Youssef. Youssef is a bit longer as well. So,
So that was Sean Dyche, his press conference ahead of the Everton game on Saturday. We'll be playing a bit more press conference in a minute. So my starting lineup: in goal, Jordan Pickford. Right back, Nathan Patterson, Jared Branthwaite, Tarky and Vitaly Mikalenko. In midfield, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Tim Booman, Dwight McNeil and Abdoulaye Doucouré. On the right, we're going to go with Iliman Ndiaye, and up front, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. My prediction is going to be a 3-0 win to Everton. Everton Football Club to win 3-0 against Crystal Palace. And here's Sean Dyche's press conference a bit more.
But we are beginning to look a little bit more rounded as a squad, particularly compared to as little as 10 days ago.
Obviously, go back to the Leicester game and the Southampton game. Yeah, you had leads and you ended up losing those leads, but at the same time, you didn't compound that by losing in the 90 minutes. So does that give you at least some kind of a basis to go for? Is the mentality shifting somewhat?
Well, I think the thing that I've mentioned is trying to mould together the new players coming in, get them up to Premier League speed, which I think they're showing good signs of doing. That attack, which I think we've done better as certainly the last 2 or 3 games. We're scoring and looking a real threat, and I thought we did against Leicester. And then finding that balance to tighten it the other end of the pitch, which last season we did so well with 13 clean sheets, and particularly at the end of last season when we really needed to find results and find clean sheets, we certainly did. So there's a knowledge base there of doing it. The change of the side, the change in players, maybe learning that and getting up to speed quickly. The defensive unit coming together. And joining all the dots really. But like I said, it sounds easy. It's clearly not. But we know we've got to do it better. And I thought there were strong signs in the last couple of games of that. And finding still the open play to go and cause other teams trouble and look a threat. We haven't been as clinical as we'd like, certainly not against Leicester, because we got in some great positions and had some good chances. And then keeping the back door shut, which, yet again, we did better against Leicester, I thought. We can see one, a lot was made of set piece. And I think I mentioned, if someone crossed it and a marker lose their man and they head it in the goal, then, of course, we as a staff, have a responsibility towards that. But sometimes it bobbling around the box, they're the hardest ones to, pick the bones out. And that's really what happened at Leicester. I think they had 2 shots on target. One of them was bobbling around the box and they got a foot on it quicker than we did. So, that was a bit of more of a detail that's kind of in the lap of the gods. But I think there's better signs, but then better signs have got to bring wins. And I think that's the biggest change, is getting that winning edge back.
There's been a case, though, of pinpointing what's been going wrong when defending set pieces.
Well, yeah, apart from personnel and the change in personnel for varying reasons, we've spoken about injuries, illness, all the rest of it, then the format pretty much has only changed minorly because we were so strong, last season. So, it's like, you don't want to overchange it. It could be down to personnel being fit, it could be down to the team, and it could be down to individuals. So it's sticking with the basic principles, but whilst to its very simplest form, ball comes in the box, someone's got to go and clear it, someone's got to go and head it, someone's got to deal with that situation, and you want all players to have that mindset.
Just wondered as well, I think I've kind of asked you this before, but whether nervousness comes into it when you've not been able to put teams away.
Well, I don't think it's helpful, when you haven't got that edge of killer instinct, and and I think that's both boxes, by the way. That's not just looking at the front of the pitch. Taking responsibility at the back is always talked about. What about the front? What about getting in the right areas? What about making that pass instead of it in a defender, making that finish? Putting it in the corner rather than over the bar. These are all clinical details. So I think it's partly the killer instinct in both boxes, and I think we've been working on that, trying to analyse it, trying to bring it together, but equally trying to allow the players the freedom to take away that suggestion of nervousness. You've still got to have the freedom to go and play and enjoy the challenge that is right in front of them. And we've done that many times before here, coming through tough periods, and we're still coming out of a tough period, but I think there's better signs.
Finally, for me, Sean, just how do you sum up the importance of this game, bearing in mind that obviously it's 2 sides that are still looking for that first Premier League win of the season?
Yeah, look, the importance of every game is quite obvious, but there are some, which you look at and go, all right, that would be considerably favourable to get a win from, of course. But we're at that stage at the minute, after a tough start, to find whatever way it is, whoever it's against, to find that way of winning, to find that way of keep calm about the situation, deliver performances. And like I said, there has to be organisation with that freedom to stay with that kind of fine line of being loose enough to play, but focused enough to stay tight as a unit and make sure that you defend properly and do all the basics. So I think we're still searching for that regardless of who we're playing, but that's the focus, is on us delivering better performances to get wins.
Thanks, Vinny. We'll go to Alan at Premier League predictions. Obviously, we've spoken about key players returning hopefully this weekend. Only one defeat in 19 against Crystal Palace. Do you feel there's a sort of air of extra expectation on this game?
I think there's expectation always, so I don't think that changes at Everton. I think the stats and facts are favourable. I always make it clear to the players there's no guarantee to that, but I think it's a favourable situation. That doesn't make the outcome easier. You know, we're still a bona fide Premier League football club, and you know, at the end of last season, being certainly, if not raved about, certainly spoken about very, very positively, as we were ourselves. So, you know, both of us haven't got off to the starts we want. I'm sure of that.
One of the things particularly you were spoken about very positively about towards the end of last season was when you were at Goodison Park at home. With so much positivity around the club this week, what do you expect from the atmosphere at Goodison Park this weekend, and how do you want the team to feed off that?
Well, positivity this time is slightly different. You know, I think the positivity from last season was due to the team performing, and the positivity this week, is more maybe that feeling of what's going to change, what could change, what ifs and what ands and all the rest of it. But, you know, inside the stadium, it's our job to bring that. Certainly my job with the players to go and deliver a performance that can enhance on positivity. The fans have always been there for us. It's about giving them something to work with and to go on. And I've said that ever since I walked in the building. So that'll be the main thought from us, is on the pitch stuff. You know, the off the pitch stuff, it'll play its part, of course, and you guys will write different stuff and say different things than what you previously. That's just the nature of what it is. But it's on the pitch stuff we need to stay focused on.
Thanks, Alan. We'll go to Shamoon at the BBC.
Hi, Sean. You spoke about the hope that the takeover brings stability. How far, if it gets done, how far do you think it will go to fixing things here?
Yeah, it's not the hope. I was just suggesting that it looks like it's going to bring a different form of stability, their form of stability. I don't know their business model. I don't know their strategy. I haven't spoken to them.
So that is the end of Sean Dyche's press conference. So with 3-0 win to Everton, up the Toffees, and we'll see you very soon. Like the video, leave your comments down below. Let me know who you would have in the starting lineup. Let me know your predictions, and also let me know what you think of the Dan Freakin future at Everton, and also let me know how you think Everton and Sean Dyche's future will be, and let me know, do you think Sean Dyche will have a future at this football club? Thank you all for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.